established. And it is time. What is up, everyone? Welcome back to Hack Smarter Live. My name is Tyler. I am your host, and super excited for you to take the time to hang out with me. Do want to let you know right at the outset that I am live right now on 3 different platforms. You can join on whatever platform works best for you, but I am live right now on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitch. Over on LinkedIn and YouTube, you can find me just under my name, Tyler Ramsby, and over on Twitch, you can find me on hack_smarter. So once again, twitch.tv/hack_smarter. But whatever platform you join from, any of them will work. I will, one exception, if you're on LinkedIn and you leave a comment and I don't respond to it, I'm not ignoring you. Just like most of the time, LinkedIn doesn't show me the comments until the recordings or until the live stream's done, and I have no idea why. But it's super good to be with you guys. I know a few people in the chat was wondering why I was on so late, and I did this thing where I put my kids down to bed at like 8 o'clock at night, so pretty early. And I was like, I was a little bit tired. And I was like, I'm going to go lay down and just wait for my kids to fall asleep, right? And next thing I know, I wake up and it's 10:30 at night and I'm like wide awake. So I managed to take a 2.5-hour nap like at night, and now I am up. So I don't know how long I'll be on stream, because I'm going to regret this tomorrow if I stay up too late, and I'm going to get into this cycle of like falling asleep at 8 o'clock and having the strangest freaking sleep cycle, even stranger than the one I have now. But YOLO. For now, we're just going to enjoy it. We're going to hang out and we'll do some learning together. Let me look over at chat and make sure I'm not missing anything. Roll 4 Combat asked a question. Does this imposter syndrome ever leave? Like, I've had great interviews at several places and a couple of verbal offers, and I just have this insane imposter syndrome. No, it does not ever leave. I don't think. But you'd have to define what you mean by insane imposter syndrome. Honestly, that sounds a lot like anxiety. And anxiety is a real thing. Therapy is a good thing to do for that. So if it's like, when you say insane imposter syndrome, if it's overwhelming and you just feel like it goes beyond what people usually talk about with imposter syndrome, where it just feels like, when I think of imposter syndrome, I just feel like not knowing what's going on a lot of the time, but being able to kind of laugh about it and learn with it. If it is debilitating, overwhelming, I might suggest that goes beyond imposter syndrome and you're struggling with maybe real anxiety or some other mental health issues, which all of us have various issues like that. The difference is only few of us are willing to go to professional therapy and address that. Sometimes it's a mix of therapy and medication, whatever it is, but all of that stuff is good. So I will just say, if it's overwhelming or debilitating to your career or to the interview process, maybe just consider it might be a little more than just imposter syndrome, and professional help is something that you should pursue. It's something I personally pursue myself. So just keep that in mind. Doc G Money said, dude, you're saving my mental health right now. Thank you. OSCP is slowly driving me up the wall. I mean, I could rehearse my OffSec diss song for you, right? For $1,500, tell me, what did I get? A bloated PDF and a desire to quit, and an org that is deaf to the students who sit to take a test that will assess if CTFs are legit. I confess that I'm impressed that somehow you benefit from having terrible support and VMs that randomly break. That's just the beginning. Y'all can get the rest of it on YouTube. But I feel you, dude. OSCP is worth it. It really is worth it once you get the cert. But I've heard they've updated the course since I went through it, and so kudos to OffSec for finally updating the course, but it still is a grind, and I haven't been pursuing any certifications anymore. Like, I have a lot of certs, including things like the OSCP, and now I do like training for certifications. Like, I've done all the training, for example, for Hack the Box as CPTS, but I probably won't take the cert, mainly because I don't need it. Like, now that I'm actually in the field, and I have like actual CVEs and stuff under my name, having another cert on my resume isn't going to do much. But what I enjoy about where I'm at now is I absolutely love learning, but I hate being forced to learn. So I don't know if that makes sense. I love learning because it allows me just to dive into different areas that I'm interested in. But when you're studying for a cert and you're forced to learn, it takes the fun out of it. So now that I have the OSCP, I just learn for fun, and it's thoroughly enjoyable. But I do remember the struggle from the OSCP. I mean, Doc G Money, you probably already seen these videos, but I have quite a few videos on my YouTube channel from when I was in your shoes, just talking about how frustrated I was with things like leading all the way up to my exam. So just know that you're not alone, my friend. Roll 4 Combat said, yeah, I work as a pen tester currently, but I always just feel like I suck. Dude, well, you're a pen tester, dude. You're doing the thing that everybody else wants to do. So keep it up. Like, just keep moving towards whatever that goal is for you. Talk to your team. I know, like, I don't know where you work. I don't know your team dynamics. But the team that I'm on is super, super helpful. No one has an ego. And everyone's willing to help out. And it's okay to say I don't know and to learn alongside people. But, dude, congrats on being a pen tester. That's awesome. At least you work as a pen tester. I've yet to get an interview. Yeah, exactly, dude. Default sucks. Spot on. Rule 4 Combat said, so I work as a pen tester currently and moving to a new place for more money. And then I see that money figure. I'm just like, am I really worth this? Yeah. And honestly, that's a struggle. I can't even make a video about this, y'all, because people will know who I'm talking about. And I don't want to put a company on blast at all. But sometimes when you make a move for more money, it's not a good move. Now, I'm not saying yours wasn't a good move, but for me, it wasn't. So I actually, when I got my first cybersecurity job, I was working in just IT support, making about $50,000 a year. And I got my first cybersecurity job. Actually, it was a manager or lead role over a cybersecurity MSP, and at like $80,000 a year. So not, a bunch of money, but a pretty big boost in pay. And it was my first ever cybersecurity job. I quit the job in 2 days and almost left IT and cyber completely because I left what was a good job for what was a higher paying job. And it wasn't that I was overwhelmed technically, but the culture and the team was just toxic. So now, at least for me personally, where I'm at Rhino, I make decent money. I've had offers to make more. So like, I've had an offer even recently for a red team role, and it was like for $200,000 a year, which is quite a bit more than I make now, but I didn't even entertain it because of that past experience. For me, once I make a certain amount of money, I don't need more money, right? Like 3 years ago, let's see, 2024, 3 years ago, I was a pastor, and I made about $40,000 to $45,000 a year for a family of 4. And we were fine. And now I make way, way more than that. But I haven't changed my standard of living. I drive the same vehicle. Like, I drive a freaking 2002 Volvo that's always leaking crap, that's broken half the time. I haven't changed any of my standard of living at home. So, like, me and my family could literally go back to living on $45,000 a year with no problem. So just be careful for everyone when you're chasing money. Sometimes it works out good for you, but you can't trade your mental health for money. That doesn't really answer your question, Roll 4 Combat. If they offered you the job for more money, you are worth it, my friend. You are worth it. But just be careful where you end up. All right, just looking through chat, make sure I'm not missing anything. I just feel failure and want to excel and be better. That's the thing, dude. Don't fear failure. Failure, yeah, I agree with Nephilis. Failure is a part of life, right? That's how you grow. I've failed. I mean, some could say I failed as a pastor, and now I'm a pen tester. Maybe one day I'll fail as a pen tester, and I'll choose a different career, and I'm okay with that, because at the end of the day, my friends, you are not defined by what you do for a living. This is going to sound a little philosophical, a little like out there, but I've heard it said before that we are human beings, right? Not human doings, and we get that confused. Life is much more important about the type of person you are becoming and less important about what you do for a living. So whether you are a pen tester, whether you work in IT support, whether you work as a cashier, like whatever your background, whatever your job is, that is not your identity. That's not what you are defined by, and failure or success in your job does not define you. And that goes both ways, right? So even in your job, if you fail at whatever your career is, you cannot have your identity so tied to that it just devastates you. But it's the same with success. Success is almost more difficult than failure. that when you succeed, there's always that temptation to have that ego, to have that pride, to have that arrogance. And we see a lot of that in InfoSec as a whole. And if that's you, freaking stop. Like, you're not as cool as you think you are. And the silly gatekeeping and going off on people when they ask simple questions is just dumb. It's silly. But with success also, you are not defined by a successful career. If you become a super successful pen tester, if you become, bigger than the John Hammonds of the world, and everyone's looking to you for your expertise and knowledge, but you're a jerk, right? Is that success? I would argue it is not. It's more important about who you're becoming and less what you're doing. But with that, I've noticed just in my own life, as I focus on becoming a better person, your career generally tends to increase as well, because people want to work with people who are, humble, who aren't jerks, and who are genuinely fun to be around. So as you focus on becoming a better person personally, it will, by extension, help your career. So hope you find that helpful. I'll jump over to YouTube in a little bit. Let me make sure I'm not missing anything else on Twitch. Oh, I am C. Lovin or Clovin. I was a pastor and now I'm becoming a pen tester. Welcome to the party, pal. I was a pastor for 10 years, have a master's of divinity, was a church planner, did the whole thing. Dude got burnt out on leadership during all the COVID craziness, and I switched over to IT. My first IT job was in 2021. I haven't been in IT long. I was IT support level 1 in 2021. Went from that to a manager role because of my experience as a pastor, just my communication and leadership. Went from that management role to my first cybersecurity job for 2 days that I told you I quit after 2 days. Went back to IT support, then became a senior analyst at a bank on the blue team side, and finally became a pen tester about a year ago. So it took me about 2 years to go from first IT job to pen testing, which I know is totally not common, but a big part of that, guys, is just the grind. I don't have a life. This is all I do. I hack stuff, I hang out with my family, and then I'm back on hacking stuff. So it's possible to accelerate even into pen testing, but it's not normal, and it takes a lot of self-study, grind, and learning. Oh, dude, Roll4 Combat just subscribed over on Twitch. Dude, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Hopefully you found my words helpful, but thank you for subscribing. And dang, you gifted a bunch of subs to We're Hacking Live, Cryosim, Agent, Doc's Holiday, Born 95. Thank you so much, my friend, for the support and for the encouragement. I'm going to keep going through. Gosh, a lot of chat over on Twitch. I'm still working my way through it. Doc G said, I don't know if I'd want to shadow Hammond talk about imposter syndrome, God complex syndrome. Yeah. Austin 147741 said, I've been job hunting for about a year, trying to get a software engineering gig after finishing my degree, and have so far gotten skunked due to lack of experience, I think. So I don't have a whole lot of experience on the software engineering side of things, but one of the best ways to make up for lack of experience on software engineering or pen testing is making sure you're contributing to open source communities. So for me personally, I can even show this to you guys. Well, actually, no, my VM is still updating. 1 second. I was updating my VM since Kali came out with the new update. 1 second. I think it's almost done. All right, sweet. It is just about done. Give me a second, and then I'll show you what I'm talking about. All right, make sure I'm not showing anything I'm not supposed to show. So, like, when I say contributing to open source stuff, it would be like this. Now, for me, since I'm a pen tester at security tools, but like, for example, Paku through Rhino Security Labs is open source. I was a contributor on the last release. I just fixed a little download snapshot, but that's something you can throw on your resume, right? If you contribute to a large open source project, that can make up for that lack of experience. I have some pull requests here. Like, I completely rewrote the brute force permission module because the first one sucked. I fixed a gateway, a new module. Same with CloudGoat, another open source project that I've been contributing to. I created a brand new scenario. I created a scenario template, updated the contribution guidelines. So it's just things like that. Whoops, switched to the wrong screen. Things like that. If you're trying to break into the industry, whether it's pen testing or software engineering in particular, make sure you are actively contributing to open source projects that you're passionate about, and that will help you with that lack of experience, I think, on your resume. Okay. What else am I missing? Did I ever make it through Gandalf? I did not. We'll have to eventually go back to Gandalf. All right, let me jump over to YouTube. Kelvin said, is it true that cybersecurity programs like blue or red teams without a cloud focus are a waste of time and money because most companies are moving the infrastructure to the cloud in the future? No. Definitely is not a waste of time. And I mean, like, cloud, I know it's said, but bro, cloud is just somebody else's computer. All right? You do have to learn some new terminology, some new things, but all the things you learn about on-prem blue team or on-prem red team, it all eventually applies over in the cloud. So anytime you're learning, guys, you're not wasting your time. Man, even if you're learning like COBOL, like the super old programming language, you're not wasting your time. All learning is good. And the cool thing about education is no one can take education away from you. So no learning is a waste at all, Kelvin. There is some cloud stuff that's helpful, but you don't need to know all of it, especially when you're just getting started. This verse is for all the career coaches from Vin. Yeah, dude. Hack smarter. Alex had spoken like a true Christian. Yeah, I mean, hopefully that's no surprise to anyone. I try not to take my faith and rub it in people's faces. But yeah, I'm a Christian follower of Jesus. That's more important to me than literally everything else. But hopefully in a way that's not like the corny crap you see on TV or out in the culture. I try not to be like them, and you might know who I'm talking about. Your weird freaking wacky spiritual religious friend. Hopefully I don't come across that way, because that's not what I'm like in real life either. But I am a follower of Jesus, which of course affects the way I view cybersecurity, the way I view pen testing, the way I view life in general. I mean, even the fact that I do everything for free. I tell you guys all the time, I don't believe in paywalls. I give everything away for free. I do everything I can to make education accessible. That's a direct result of my faith. That's why I try to do my best to call out all the crazy freaking injustice that I see in cybersecurity. People trying to rip other people off with this silly, stupid career coaching stuff and ripping off the poor. Bro, that's what Jesus did, right? The people who hated Jesus the most were the religious leaders who were preying on the poor people and preying on the oppressed in the name of religion. Jesus was not crucified for, saying nice things to people. He was crucified for calling people out, calling out injustice. And so I try to live that out a little bit, in a very small way, in the InfoSec community, and call out some of the injustice I see and do everything I can to make this field and everything I do accessible for everyone. Oh, dude, we got a super chat over on YouTube from Brian Kaplan. I think it's Brian. You did a super chat. I think it was yesterday or a while ago. I think it was your name, but thank you, my friend, for the super chat. Really appreciate the encouragement and the kindness there. Okay, I want to make sure I'm not missing comments here. Alex said, "Yo, Tyler, if I get the opportunity to join SOC analyst or other defensive role, should I take it? Currently working as a network admin, using all my spare time on prepping for CPTS." Yep, you should. Absolutely. I mean, depends on culture of the team. I already talked about that, but if all is the same, do it. Richard said, "Do I hear a cat?" Yeah, he's being freaking annoying. There he is. Right here. He's scratching me now. He's a big cat, yo. Had him since he was like a 6-week-old kitten. He's, I don't know, almost 9 years old, but here's the hacking cat. If you ever see me petting the air, I'm not really petting the air. He's just black, and I'm always wearing black, so he just kind of blends in. Danker owner said, am I allowed to share Hack the Box boxes on YouTube? Only retired machines. You're not supposed to live stream or share active machines. So if it's an active machine, you're not supposed to do it. Taylor said, I've yet to meet another guy that went from pastor to hacker. Haha, I'm not the only one. Yeah, you got it. How does my faith affect my testing? I'm interested. That's a good question. I mean, I don't know if it affects my actual pen testing. Like, there's not like Christian pen testing. I do the same process as everybody else, but I don't know. Yeah, I really don't know how to answer your question. I'd have to think about that more. Like, one thing I struggle with when it comes to pen testing is social engineering. Although I think it's good, like, companies need to go through full physical on-site social engineering and pen testing. I don't know if I could do it personally because, like, I've done pretext calling, right? That's doing it over a phone call. So that's one thing, doing it over a phone call. But it's another thing doing it like on site. It'd just be hard for me to look into the eyes of another person and to like prey on their emotions or to just flat out deceive them to get something out of them, even though I know it's for a good purpose, right? I'm not mad at people who do it. I wish I could do it. I wish I was good at it. But for me personally, it's just tough. It's tough to do that. I do not like lying to people, especially when I'm like looking them in their eyes. So that's probably just one area that's a struggle for me. But the cool thing about where I work is that's never required. So where I work, we do all the core, pen testing concepts, but social engineering, on-site stuff like that is always optional. You never are required to do it. It's totally up to the pen tester. So it works great for me. Tyler, how do you find your cat in the night? I don't find my cat. My cat finds me. He usually just like, when I start talking, like on Twitch, for example, I think my cat thinks I'm talking to him because he always jumps up on me and wants to hang out. So I don't find my cat. He finds me. It's a big cat. Yeah, I think the cat's like 16 or 17 pounds. He's not even fat. I remember when he was a kitten, the vet just said, yeah, he's going to be a big cat. Yeah, yes, I do, Alex. What's the best way to reach or email me? The best way to reach me is Discord. I do my best to try to keep up with Discord. If you DM me on Discord or tag me in the Hack Smarter community and tell me to check my DMs, I will check it. LinkedIn, y'all. Last I checked, I had like 1,500 requests on LinkedIn. I just stopped responding. So if you sent me a LinkedIn request, I just literally don't have the capacity to go through and accept them all. I even tried to use JavaScript to just accept all of them and YOLO my way through it. And LinkedIn rate limited me in the process. So if you sent me a connection request on LinkedIn, just send me a DM on Discord with a link to your LinkedIn and say, hey, I sent you a connection request, and then I'll accept it. But if you just sent me a blanket connection request, you're in the 1,500 people, and I'm not going to respond to it because I don't have time. All right. Am I missing anything else before we dive into some hacking? Thankfully, my Kali VM has updated while I've been talking. What up, Crip Crap? All right. Oh, we got another question. Okay, a few questions. Taylor said, do you mentor people one-on-one ever? Absolutely. So if you go to hacksmarter.org, here, I'll show it to you. If you go to hacksmarter.org and join our Discord, we have a whole channel on one-on-one mentoring, but we offer donate what you can one-on-one coaching with industry experts, myself included. This is an opportunity to receive resume reviews, mock interviews, and more from cybersecurity pros. And probably the cool thing about this is it's donate what you can. And so you donate what you can to a nonprofit of your choice. So even the donate what you can, you're not giving money to me or any of the coaches. We don't make any money from this. We just ask you to donate to a nonprofit that you enjoy supporting. Doesn't matter what that nonprofit is. And then whether you can afford $1 to them or $50 or $100, that's all you need to do. And then we can do one-on-one sessions to help you with whatever you are struggling with, whatever you're going through in your career. Now, for me personally, I have taken the summer off from doing one-on-one coaching. I'll start it back up in the fall. But I took the summer off from one-on-one coaching because my kids stay up later in the summer, and rather than sitting on my computer and coaching people, although I enjoy it, I want to hang out with my kids. So I'm usually up later hanging out with my kids. Geez, had a sneeze right there. But yes, I do one-on-one coaching. You don't have to pay me anything for it. Donate to a nonprofit. Oh, dude, we got freaking Kev Tech in the house donating some memberships, man. Kev Tech, you're amazing, dude. Thank you for the support. If you guys do not follow Kev Tech, make sure you check him out on YouTube. I'm honestly sure all of you have heard of Kev Tech. He's been in the field for a while, has an awesome YouTube channel. I can even pull him up real quick. Here he is. So if you do not already follow him, you can see I'm not signed in here, but if you do not follow Kev Tech, make sure you check him out. He's an awesome person, has a cool community, also has some courses that are pay what you can courses. I believe he has an Azure courses, pay what you can. He also has a really good IT support course to help you break into the field. So Kev Tech, dude, thank you for the support over on YouTube. And if you guys haven't already, go subscribe to Kev Tech over on YouTube. Will I be at Defcon again this year? Absolutely, I'll be at Defcon. If anyone's going to be at Defcon, let me know. Would love to hang out, would love to chat, would love to grab a drink, love to grab some food. But yeah, I'll be at Defcon. Defcon's the only in-person conference I go to every year. And by every year, last year was my first year ever going. So this is my second year, but shout out to Rhino where I work. They pay for everything. I don't even plan my own trip, right? They plan and buy all the plane tickets for me. They pay for the hotel. They pay for the full conference. I get a really high food allowance every single day for all my food. I get vouchers for Uber or Lyft or whatever, so it doesn't cost me a dime to go to DEF CON. So shout out to Rhino. But because of Rhino, yes, I will be at DEF CON. If anyone else is going to be there, would love to hang out, do some CTFs, get into some Las Vegas shenanigans with you. So DM me on Discord. I'm thinking if there's enough people from the Hack Smarter community there, maybe we can do like some informal meetup somewhere and just hang out. But I'll be at DEF CON. Oh, KevTech's going to be there. Fantastic, dude. I would love to hang out with you. Maybe I can bring my other computer. We'll boot up some Counter-Strike Source and have a LAN party. KevTech is big, not in Counter-Strike 2 or CSGO, but Counter-Strike Source. Has like 1,000+ hours over on CS Source. What are my thoughts on ethical social engineering? It's a school thought about least harm approach. Do you think this provides meaning outcomes to face adversaries? It doesn't pull punches? I don't know. I just haven't done much thought into it. Like, I've done social engineering myself. Probably the most extreme, for lack of a better word, is pretext calling. I've done phishing, but like that's emails, right? Pretty impersonal. But pretext calling is a little more intense because you're actually on the phone with a live target and you're actively deceiving them as you talk to them and using your social skills to do so. It was crazy. It was intense. I haven't done on-site social engineering stuff, and just I haven't given much thought to it. D8R. So I just need to give more thought. Why is my cat walking around meowing? Freaking go to bed, cat. Get a life. All right. You're not available though, summer vacation. Yeah, exactly. I'm not available this summer for coaching. All right, should we finally get to the hacking? I'm going to start getting TryHackMe pulled up. I'll still answer some questions as we go, though. When it comes to practice, Alex asked this over on YouTube, when it comes to practice, are boot-to-root machines like the ones from THM and Hack the Box better for practicing pen testing than live CTFs that focus on categories? Yeah. Live CTFs that focus on categories, so you're very much CTF puzzly type things, maybe I'm biased because I suck at them. but I don't like them. They're not realistic. They don't teach you pen testing. They teach you how to use some of the tools, but they're very much not realistic. And I don't like those CTF cryptography puzzle type things. So boot to root by far are some of the best ways to learn pen testing and cybersecurity. CTFs, I think, can teach you problem solving and how to use some of the tools, but they're very much limited in real world application. Guys, yesterday, was I on stream yesterday? I think so. We did the XXE injection room. I wanted to also knock out the T-Shark, the basics room. I have no experience with T-Shark at all. And so I thought it would be fun, at least for me, to get a little bit of experience with it. So I think that's what we're going to start our stream with. Be kind of chill, work through this room, see if we can learn anything. I think it's probably more blue team based. Can I make this? Here, I'm going to try a trick real quick. If I go like this, and I go like that, then I go like that. Oh, cool, I can make it full screen. All right, so I'm in a VM within my VM, so we have Inception here, but that's fine. That's the room. I'm going to start recording for YouTube before we actually dive into the room. I haven't done the room at all. I haven't even looked at it myself, so it's going to just be a blind approach. Don't know if the room's good. Don't know if it's bad, but we're going to give it a shot. I also, guys, I don't know any details on this. Any details yet, but one thing that might be exciting coming up is TryHackMe sent me an email. This probably isn't even public, so I'm not going to share too much on it. But get it pulled up on my phone. So one of the leaders at TryHackMe asked me if I would be willing to help them with the project, like on a contract basis, medium to long term, and doing some video stuff for people who learn better via video. So I don't know any details about what the TryHackMe project is, but I might have a formal partnership coming up with TryHackMe in the near future where I'll be able to help with some of this content. I mean, those of you who follow me, you know that I've already contributed to TryHackMe in quite a few ways. I've made some of the official rooms. I have an official room right now in QA. I was one of the streamers for Advent of Cyber this past December, and TryHackMe was the first platform I ever got started with when I was learning cybersecurity and trying to get hands-on. So TryHackMe really gave me my start, and I'm still on it all the time. But stay on the lookout. There might be some formal partnership in the near future between me and TryHackMe on some project. Once again, don't know any of the details, so I'll have to get the details, figure out the time commitment before I say yes, but it might be something fun going on in the future. Default Sex says, is there any way to specifically search for boot to root rooms in THM? Yeah. So one way to do that, I don't know why this tells me to resume subscription either. I actually am subscribed. I think what it is I set up a HackSmarter business account, and that HackSmarter business account is about to expire, and it will go back to my personal subscription. But ignore this. I've been subscribed to TryHackMe now for almost 3 years when I started. I don't know why it's telling me to resume it. But yeah, to find boot to root machines, if you go to learn, that's not going to work. Here, we'll go to dashboard. So on TryHackMe, if you click learn, we'll go to, I believe it's practice, reinforce your learning. And, this is based on my experience. What's a Borderlands? I never heard of it. But this practice your learning, these are all like boot to root machines. You can go to series, and it's always fun to work through some of these series. Like you could do, I don't even know what this series is. Yeah. So all of these are boot to root machines. If you go through the starters, have I done them all? Yeah, so you can see I've done all of them on here. Most of them are free, so you don't even need a sub to do it. But that's how you can find some of the boot to root machines on TryHackMe. Can I make a video? Can I make a web app pen testing video using OWASP Zap? I don't have much experience with OWASP Zap. I use Kato, so I just don't know how to. I've maybe used Zap once or twice in my life. Is persistence encouraged during live pen tests? I ask because I'm constantly dropping cron job backdoors and bind shells during CTFs. Is that highly frowned upon during a real engagement? Yeah, no, you're not doing persistence during a real engagement. The exception would be a red team engagement. That's the difference between pen testing and red team, right? Pen testing is very time limited. holistic look at the environment. Red team is more of the emulating APT or an advanced persistent threat. In a red team engagement, that's when you're going to be doing persistence. But in your typical pen test, no, you're not doing persistence. Like the closest I've done for persistence on an actual pen test is I got domain admin on a client's environment during an internal, and I just asked them, hey, do you want me to try to do like a golden ticket attack and see if your EDR picks me up based on my methodology? And they said, sure. And I was able to bypass their EDR. I'm not going to share the EDR, but it's one of the major ones. But I was able to do a DC sync attack and then a golden ticket attack without their EDR picking up on me. And then if you know a golden ticket, the way that works is with the golden ticket, I can authenticate to the domain controller as any user, including as an administrator. And even if they change the password, I still have access. They need to update the password for the KRBTG or the ticket granting ticket, whatever account, twice to remove my persistence. So that's the only time I've done it, like some type of persistence on a pen test, but it was with the client's permission to test their EDR, and they knew I was in their environment. But that was fun. But generally speaking, you're not doing that. Let's do AD more. I like AD, bro. I need some good AD challenges, guys. If anyone has a good AD room or AD network, let me know. I've done all the AD networks and TryHackMe. They're all on my YouTube channel. I did all of Red Team Capstone. Like I've done most all the AD challenges that I'm aware of that I'm allowed to stream anyways. But if anyone has some good AD stuff, let me know. Why on earth do they need to change it twice? You know, that's a good question. Like, we can read about it here. Is this a good article? So this is exactly what I did in the client's environment. So a golden ticket attack, blah, blah. This probably explains it a little more in depth. But the biggest thing to know is this. For Kerberos tickets, AD uses KRBTGT account in the AD domain. Security principal name used by KDC. So when you do a DC sync attack, it tricks a domain controller that says, hey, I'm also a domain controller. Send me all the users and all the hashes. And if we have the KRBTG hash, then we're able to create these golden tickets for us. You can see here's the information we need to do it. We can impersonate any user that we want. That gives the walkthrough for it. Here, let me scroll down. The crazy thing is once I had a golden ticket, I was also able to authenticate to their domain controller as NT system authority. And once again, their EDR did not pick up on me. I had a full shell on their domain controller. But is it going to talk about the persistence? So showing how to do it a bunch of different ways. So mitigation, reset the keys. I believe you do it twice though. Microsoft released a script to reset it, which are not possible earlier. Script enabled you to set it, blah, blah. You have to do it twice though. Here, hold up. Let me, let's ask our friendly neighborhood robot to mitigate from a golden ticket attack. Okay, so resetting it twice is a crucial step due to the nature of how Kerberos tickets and keys work. Here's why the double reset is necessary. The KRBTG account is a special account used by the key distribution center. If an attacker compromises this account, they can create golden tickets, which are forged Kerberos ticket granting tickets that provide unrestricted access to network resources. So resetting twice. So immediate invalidation. The first reset, the initial password reset invalidates any new tickets issued with the old key, any new tickets. However, existing tickets that were issued before the reset, so you could create golden tickets for every single user for persistence, are still valid because they're encrypted with the old key. The coolest thing is, even if you reset the password for those users, it's still valid. You can reset the password all you want. I can still log in as them. And then the second reset, the second password reset performed after sufficient time. That's the other crazy thing. You can't do them back to back. You need to have time so that the reset replicates through the environment. I don't remember how much time, but it's not back to back. You have to do some time. Has passed to ensure all legitimate tickets issued before the first reset have expired and validating tickets that were still valid after the first reset. This ensures that all tickets, including any golden tickets, are no longer valid. So it's around 10 hours to a few days. So like this is a bad attack. If a threat actor does this in your environment, this is not good. I mean, by the time they have a golden ticket attack, they have domain admin. They've exfiltrated all your data up to this point, and you're gonna have a bad day. All right, so you need to have your detection capabilities in so you can detect these kinds of attacks and stop them in the tracks before they get that. But just for context, on an internal, on a real world internal, I went from no access to a golden ticket in one day. And if I can do it, so can the threat actors. So on the blue team, you need to make sure you are testing out your detection capabilities. Just because your EDR, whatever you use, says they can detect this attack, I don't know. I would hire a real pen tester and one that doesn't suck to try to get into your environment and see how far they can get. This is why pen testing is so important. Other scans, Nessus, it can only do so much. You need like a manual pen tester using some of the same power of a threat actor to see what they can do to your environment, because like it's a lot better for you to pay my company however many thousands of dollars to have me try to hack your AD environment than to pay millions of dollars when a real threat actor does it and steals all your data or even shuts down the business because of the damage that they cause. So stuff is serious, y'all. I do it before the bad guys do it. Do you know about standoff events? I'm playing their CTF and they have a SCADA. AD is hard for me. Can we stay connected? Yeah, we can stay connected. I don't know anything about standoff events. What's your favorite 3 colors together? I don't know, dude. All right, y'all. We need to eventually do some CTFing. There's a bunch of questions. If I just keep answering questions, we're never going to go into the box. I need to set a timer. The questions are fun. I love hearing from you guys and answering these, but eventually I have to do some other stuff. All right, let's go ahead and dive into this machine. We'll close this stuff out. Here's this. We could just make this stream an AMA. We definitely could. I'm totally good with that. If you guys have more questions, go ahead and ask it. I'm okay just hanging out and doing an AMA. Since it's already late at night, like it's almost midnight, I may not even have time to start and finish this machine because it says 120 minutes. So, yeah, we can keep just hanging out. We'll see how long the questions go. Bottleneck said, I'm glad the streams are doing great. I remember when the chat was dead silent. Yeah, dude, I remember when I first started streaming, no one watched. There was usually one person watching, and that was me on my phone making sure everything was good. So that's just some advice for those of you who want to get into live streaming or content creation on YouTube. Do not allow the lack of response in the beginning to deter you. I mean, for the longest time, you can watch my old videos. I'm streaming and I'm pretending like I'm talking to people, but literally no one was actually watching live. Now, some of those videos have kind of gotten bigger on my YouTube channel after the fact, but don't let it discourage you. Just start somewhere. And even now, like, there's not a whole bunch of people on. What do we have? Like 20 here, 40. So between the 3 different platforms, I have about 50 people watching right now. But yeah, for the first however long, it was like 1 to 5 people. So it's really cool having people actually hanging out with me and being able to interact. Is this Kali Linux or a VM with Kali? This is a VM with Kali. Well, I'm not sure what you mean. This right here is Kali Linux, but it's inside of a VM. My host computer, at least on this one, my personal host computer, which is what I'm streaming from right now, is Windows. My primary computer, though, like the one I use most of the time that I use for pen testing and working and everything, is Ubuntu. So I very much prefer Linux as a host over Windows. But the reason this one is Windows is because I do some gaming. And although Linux has come a long ways when it comes to gaming, I still had some issues trying to go full Linux on my personal computer. But this is a VM. This is Kali Linux instead of a VM on my host computer. Default Sex said, is a 120-minute thing supposed to be the expected time to solve the room? Yeah. It's the expected time, and I've learned it seems to be pretty accurate. mainly because like when I go through these rooms, I don't skim it. I read all of it in its entirety, and I even fall down rabbit holes on purpose to learn. Like I don't do TryHackMe rooms or Hack the Box just to mark them off my list. My goal is to learn, and the best way to learn is to take it slow. So that's usually a pretty good time for me. And since the room says 120 minutes and it's almost midnight now, I probably shouldn't stay up that late. I might. We'll see. But like I said, I run Ubuntu on my Pentesting machine too. It's so good. Yeah, I run Ubuntu on my Pentesting machine. I have another laptop over here next to me that runs Linux Mint that I'm messing around with, and I'm enjoying Linux Mint as well. I might switch over to that. But I mean, it's all just different distros, flavors of Linux. I have distro ADD. I like to change my Linux distro all the time and just experiment with new stuff. Who are some... Here, I'll switch back to Facecam. Doc G Money said, who are some people in the industry you would say to follow? One way to answer that is without even saying specific names. If you have like a local meetup in your area, like a local Defcon group or anything like that, those are the people in the industry you should follow. There is something powerful. You have a local meetup, being able to hang out with other hackers and just talk shop and get to know them. So that's the first recommendation. If you have a local group you can hang out with, do that. For me, I don't have that, never have had that. I live in rural South Dakota, and rural South Dakota isn't really known for our crazy pen testing technology skills. Like literally, people don't even know what pen testing is here. There is no hacker groups where I live, so I'm very much limited to online communities, which are awesome though. I mean, online communities can be good too, but there's something I think fun about meetups. I don't know, bro. I've never attended one besides Defcon, which is massive. So first, I would recommend that. If you just know people in the industry and you can hang out with them in person, those are the industry people you should follow. When it comes to YouTube and LinkedIn and influencers, you have to be careful, because what people have discovered is that there's a lot of people interested in ethical hacking and pen testing. And because there's a lot of people interested in it, it also creates a lot of people trying to make money off of you. So you have kind of the clickbait YouTube videos, anonymous mask, all this stuff saying, hey, here's how you can become an ethical hacker, blah, blah. But when you dig into those people's background, they've never been an ethical hacker a day in their life. They've never done a pen test. Like they literally have never done a pen test. They do not know pen testing, but they do know you want to be a hacker. They are good at producing videos, and so they're going to try to make money off of you by selling you services or giving you bad information about it. So when it comes to the YouTube sphere and LinkedIn and influencers and books and whatever, be very careful who you follow. Make sure they actually have experience doing pen testing, not just writing about it. Like this is the other thing interesting I've discovered, and hopefully I don't offend anyone, but I've seen people who like are technical writers or have written books about like how to do pen testing, and when I look at their background, they've never done pen testing. Like sure, they can write a technical book, but where's your expertise coming from? If you've literally have never done a pen test in your life, why are you writing books and making videos telling me how to be a pen tester? Like, just keep your mouth shut. If you can't, like, there's that typical thing, right? If you can't do, teach. And unfortunately, that's true for a lot of people in this field. They can't do this. They couldn't make it as a pen tester, so they pivoted gears and started trying to teach and make content about it. If they're honest about it, that's one thing. Like if they're honest with you saying, hey, I'm not a pen tester, but just sharing what I find interesting, that's great. But when they try to establish themselves as an expert in the field and they've never been in the field, like, bruh, no, don't do that. So be careful. Be careful who you follow. As far as people that I would recommend, I'm going to miss people. So I want to be careful. Here are some people that come to mind just right away, right? You have the Heath Adams at TCM Security. He is legit. I mean, he's founded TCM Security, been a pen tester for a long time, and he has the Cyber Mentor on YouTube, which is him and other content creators from TCM Security. Alex is a big one. So the Cyber Mentor and TCM Security, their content in general is really good. Kind of a fun fact, I applied for TCM Security twice now in my life. They had a job opening, I think originally for like a community manager role, and I applied for a job, and I didn't even get an interview. They at least emailed me back saying, hey, you're not good enough, basically. And then they had a job opening for a content creator, and I also applied for the role, and I did not get an interview. But at the end of that one, when they told me, hey, Tyler, you're not cool enough for us, I reached out to Heath, and I was like, okay, you don't want to interview me. Can I interview you on my YouTube channel? And he said yes. So that's how I landed that Heath Adams interview. So if you actually go back on my YouTube channel, you can see a video it was like an hour where me and Heath Adams sat down and had a good conversation. That was because I applied for TCM. They didn't interview me. So I turned the tables like, Heath, can I interview you? And he was very gracious and generous and nice in that way. So Heath Adams is someone that I would recommend following. I'd also recommend people like Tiberius. not the Roman Empire guy, but the Twitch streamer and the author of Auto Recon. Tiberius is also the real deal. He's a principal pen tester now, I think, at NetSpy. Just got hired there and does a lot of live streaming on Twitch. Very genuine, nice person. So Tiberius is another content creator that's legit that I recommend. Another one is Al Hazard or whatever his name is. Yeah, this guy right there. I didn't mean to do Twitter. I meant to do Twitch. It's another great person to follow. I'm going to pause the video if it starts playing. But he is also, I believe, does he work at Rapid7 or something? I don't remember what company he works at, but he does like legit pen testing, red teaming, and does some great streams. He spoke recently about burnout, so I doubt he's going to watch this video. Hope he's doing okay. Incredible content creator, but I know also has just a lot going on. So like I watched one of his streams and he just talked honestly about burnout and needing to go to therapy. So hope all is well for him. And just a reminder to all of us, guys, therapy is good. You do not wait till you need therapy to go to therapy. Do it proactively, right? Start going to therapy now. Focus on your mental health. Make sure you have good things in place so you do not hit burnout. But that is an aside. He's a fun person to watch, fun person to follow. So those are a few people that come to mind at first. Of course, John Hammond, right? John Hammond is another incredible, genuine person. I know he's gotten a little bit of flack as of recent because he's had a lot of sponsored videos, which, I mean, to each their own. We even talked about this. I interviewed John Hammond at the beginning of this year, and I just straight up asked him about, like, how do you find a balance between sponsored content and just, like, free-flowing content? Because at that time, I was trying to decide myself, should I make sponsored content? Because I'm not even close to as big as John Hammond, but I have companies that reach out to me pretty regularly, and they'll offer me, anywhere from $400, $500, $800, sometimes $1,000 to do a sponsored video or a sponsored series for them where I talk about their product and explain some things about it. And I was very close to doing it. I mean, I was talking to these companies and just decided that's not a route I want to go down. So as of now, and probably for the foreseeable future, I'm not going to do any sponsored content. So if you look at my YouTube channel, and if I talk about something like Pwn Labs or Cato or TryHackMe or Hack the Box, you know that I'm not talking about them because they're paying me to, because none of them pay me anything to talk about them. If I talk about a company or a platform, it's because I genuinely have found personal benefit from it. I'm not getting a kickback by talking about them. And I think that's what helps set my content apart from other people. It's hopefully genuine. Where I know John Hammond has a lot more sponsored videos, but he also has a massive platform. I mean, 1.61 million subscribers. But outside of that, he's a genuinely nice person, truly an expert when it comes to this field, both on pen testing, blue team, threat hunting, Dude knows way more than I do about all of those things, and yet is so friendly and ego free. Like the way he comes off in his YouTube videos, they always say don't meet your heroes, right? He comes off in his YouTube videos as very nice, very genuine. That's actually how he is, guys. It's crazy. I've interviewed him twice for YouTube. So when my YouTube channel only had 100 subscribers and literally nobody knew who I was, I reached out to John Hammond because I just thought the worst he can say is no. And I was like, dude, I'm a complete nobody. I started this YouTube channel about cybersecurity. You don't know who I am. Nobody knows who I am. But if you'd be willing to give me like 30 minutes of your time, I would love to sit down and just interview you for YouTube. And he actually got back to me. Like, it blew my mind. He was like, yeah, it would be an honor. And we scheduled that, and you can find that first interview on my YouTube channel. Matter of fact, let's see if I can find it. Let's see, Tyler Ramsby and John Hammond. Yes, it's this one right here 1 year ago. So I had like 100 subscribers, and he was willing to jump on and hang out with me. I even apparently didn't close the freaking the chat over there, but was able to talk to him. And then we did it again, right? That was the very beginning. I wasn't a pen test or anything. And then 3 months ago, apparently you can see I look quite a bit different. Apparently I aged a lot of pen testing. But three months ago, rather, not 3 years ago, 3 months ago, I interviewed John again, more recently, and talked a lot more detail about some things. And that's where I asked him the sponsorship question. But then outside of that, I ran into him at Defcon, out of all places. So I was just walking through the hallways at Defcon with my friend Nate, and he saw John. He's like, dude, that's John Hammond. We should go talk to him. And I told Nate, no, dude, I'm not going to be one of those fangirls that freaking interrupts him in the hallway, and he probably doesn't even know who I am. Like, I don't want to talk to him. And instead of listening to me, Nate's like, hey, John, while he was walking, and John turned around, and he actually knew who I was. Like, he knew my name. He recognized me from our couple of interactions that we had, and I didn't fangirl over him. We just we were walking the same direction. So we walked together and chatted for a little bit at Defcon, and he's truly a genuine person. The way he is on YouTube is the way he was in real life at Defcon. Even outside of these interviews, the cool thing about interviewing people is usually you have some offline time just to talk to them kind of before and after the interview, and how he is in the interview is really how he is in real life from all my interactions with him. So he would be another person I would recommend. Oh, we just got a raid from BlazeBits. What is up, everybody over from BlazeBits over on Twitch? Dude, BlazeBits, I was actually going to bring you up next, not even because of the raid, but people were asking who are some InfoSec people I recommend. So we talked about the Cybermeter, John Hammond, Tiberius, Al Hazard. The other person is BlazeBits, who just did the raid over on Twitch. Usually I'm raiding him because he generally stays up later than me. So by the time I'm done streaming, he is just getting... Well, when I'm done streaming, he's still streaming, so I usually raid him. But BlazeBits is someone y'all should check out over on Twitch. BlazeBits does a lot of red teaming type stuff. I believe he's going through the CRTO course, and he's live streaming not the course, but some of the labs with permission and going a lot deeper into it. So he's always fun to watch. Elizabeth said, yeah, I was surprised to see you were on so late. Yeah, I came on to do some TryHackMe, but it turned into an AMA. Like, people have had a bunch of good questions. So we've been doing AMA for the past hour plus at this point. But yeah, usually I'm not on this late. I put my kids to bed at 8 o'clock tonight, and I was like, I'm just going to lay down while I wait for my kids to fall asleep. Next thing I know, I woke up at 10:30, accidentally took a 2.5 hour nap, and then I was awake. And I was like, well, the frick am I going to do now? I might as well go on stream. And we were going to do some TryHackMe, but honestly, the Q&A is going good. I'll probably even upload this Q&A to YouTube. It's been a really fun Q&A. All right. If anyone has more questions, I think I might be missing stuff. Let me scroll up and see some things. Who do you guys recommend? Can you guys let me know in the chat, who do you follow when it comes to InfoSec content? Great Allen said Hackersploit and Z Security. Yeah, Hackersploit's a good resource. We can pull him up, right? Hackersploit's another solid one where it's not just your typical influencer. I don't know if I know Z Security. Let me check.
One of the most...
I don't know if I've heard of Z Security before. Let's see. I'll give you my reaction to it without watching his videos. What do we have for links here? Let's see. Yeah, drop your links to your creators. I'll give you guys my reaction to them. If I think they're legit, and I'll probably end up offending someone. So, I mean, we have this always turns me off a little bit, but I get it. People have to make money in some way. But I just don't like paywalls, guys. I'm okay with paywalls when it's donate what you can or pay what you can. But the reality is people live in different countries, and what is affordable for someone like me in the US is not affordable for someone like, for example, in India or another country. And when we have paywalls like this, it just makes things too exclusive. What is this masterclass? Is this person a real pen tester? Does anyone know? Like, do they do pen testing? Oh, here's the price. I mean, okay, it's not terrible price. And there's a free course. Okay, well, he's not like other people I've seen who charge way too much money. This seems like it. Oh, okay. All right. This isn't bad at all. That's definitely affordable. Cover some good stuff. I'll have to check this person out. At first, when I hear masterclass, I think of crazy, overly expensive stuff. Like, I'll give you a bad example of this. This is just my personal opinion from looking at the website, but here's one, Elevate Cyber, who I used to follow. But this is the kind of thing I don't like, is this. Learn cybersecurity and earn a 6-figure salary. Go from $0 to $80K in 12 months or better. That's, first of all, it's not a 6-figure salary. But this seems like a guarantee. No prior experience or expensive degree necessary. Anyone can do it, will you? I mean, it seems like a false promise. When something seems too good to be true, it probably is. Of course, that is possible for some people, but it's not possible for everyone. But even that isn't like, okay, whatever. But if you do find out how. He fixed it. Okay, well, hey, I have to give props to Elevate Cyber. I do have to give props. So what it used to be is when you would click this, it would require you to spend $500 to meet with them for a one-on-one coaching session in order to find out more information. And I tried reaching out to Elevate Cyber at first. They didn't respond to me. I ended up like calling them out publicly. Eventually they got back to me saying that's not our intention. And I said, well, it seems to be very clear that's what you're trying to do. And instead of that, they changed it to a Discord link. So honestly, I have to give kudos to them. I don't know what this process is, but before it was $500 to meet with them. Now they changed it to joining them on Discord. Don't know what the next step is after that, but hey, kudos to them. Maybe, I don't know if it was from my advice or something else. Yeah, so this is where it used to go to. It used to go to this consultation for $500 USD, which I still think that is quite overly priced. It says it's a 1-hour block for, anything. So kind of career coaching type stuff. For $500, guys, I'll do it for free. And I'm actually in the field as well. I believe this guy is too, but that's just what you need to be aware of. Don't spend money when you don't need to on it. But I'm glad they fixed that. That used to lead directly to the consult thing for $500. Let me see what else people are saying over on Twitch. IPSEC. Yeah, IPSEC is amazing. IPSEC is amazing. I've actually ran into a few people now who are like, who's IPSEC? So let me just show you guys IPSEC. Here is IPSEC. He's an incredible, incredible person to follow. I've learned so much from his Hack the Box walkthroughs. Now, To be clear, someone even commented this on one of my videos. Like I did a Hack the Box walkthrough video, and they're like, IppSec did it better. Like, no crap, IppSec did it better. I'm not IppSec, and I'm not trying to be IppSec, but IppSec does it like he goes through the machine ahead of time, right? And then he kind of uses the opportunity to teach it. Whereas me, I'm going through it completely live and just stumbling through it. But IppSec's incredible. He also has this video search. If you go to his website, ipsec.rocks, which apparently didn't load when I clicked that, so let me go to that. And let's say we want to find a golden ticket, right? It will pull up a specific video course where he demonstrates that. So it's incredible, the things that he's done and the things he set up. Yo, Tyler, can you check your Discord DMs real quick? Yeah, I can. Let me stop sharing my screen, though. Oh, thanks, Bottleneck. That's fine. I don't care. It's been leaked many times, but thanks for the note. All right, who else do you guys recommend? We got IppSec. I should recommend this creator named Tyler. Yeah, Tyler Ramsey's a pretty cool dude. I started journey following Neil Bridges. I recognize that name. Oh, I'm not signed into LinkedIn on here. Oh, yeah, he seems legit. Cool. Neil Bridges. Who else did you recommend? Brett Johnson. Anglerfish.com. And Eddie Myro. Let's check out Eddie Myro. But for real, guys, the best people to file on this is if you know anyone in the industry personally. They're often the best people you can talk to. Red Team Consultant, freelance Red Team Consultant. Yeah, cool. Seems like he has legit experience. Yeah. Oh, at Arctic Wolf too. Yeah, so yeah, definitely legit. Oh yeah, Rana Khalil. I don't know how to say your name, but I have also found her helpful, Bottleneck. She does all the Web Security Academy stuff and also has a course, if I remember right. Yeah, she covers all the Web Security Academy stuff, has her own academy, does a really good job teaching web app pen testing. So if that's something you're trying to get into, definitely check out her academy. It used to be free. I think she raised the price here, but still doable, and you're supporting a good creator by doing someone who's actually in the field. And Bottleneck said, yeah, she combines with Python scripts, incredible content. Yeah, so check her out as well. Anyone else? Let me go over to YouTube. Who do you guys recommend as far as content creators? I'll pull them up. IppSec, David Bombal, Hackersploit, MyDFIR. I don't know MyDFIR. So obviously blue team stuff. What do we got? Let me help you. Free mentorship, no strings attached. Okay, I like that. What's the string? What's the string that's attached though? That's awesome. So we must have very similar philosophy here. The free mentorship. Cool. And then yeah, David Bombal, he's someone that a lot of people I've noticed don't like. Like technical people. I mean, technical people just like to get mad about stuff. But I've noticed people complain about David Bombal. When you think about the Bombal. But I don't have any issue with them. I mean, it's the typical YouTube formula of the things you have to make. And whereas he does talk about ethical hacking and stuff, from my experience, he doesn't position himself saying, like, I have all this pen testing experience. He does a lot of good interviews with people in the field. Oh, is it with Heath Adams? Yeah. He does interviews with people in the field and kind of showcases them. So I appreciate that about him. So have benefited from his interviews and some of his technical stuff. I think he got to just start doing like CCNA type things, right? Networking stuff. Thoughts on OTW? Is OTW over the web or something? I think. Or on the... What are they called? Oh, this. Yeah. First, I think this person's legit. I don't think they ever share their identity on David Bomble's show. It's always like the like voice thing and just like a picture, this OTW. But when I first went to this website, I was like, what, are we in the freaking 90s? Like, the website itself reminds me so much of early 2000s HTML websites. You know, do you guys know what I mean by that? Oh, I'm not sharing my screen. I thought I was sharing my screen. But OTW, Hackers Arise, that's usually on David Bomble. I need to learn how to share my screen. When I first went to this website, I was like, yo, this totally looks like an early 2000s website. And it's just kind of confusing to follow. He's not going to watch my video because I'm like a nobody. But if he ever does, I like the David Bomble stuff. But like, just hire someone to redo the website. Just so it's a little more modern and easier to follow things. But they have some training. The other thing that I find weird... gosh, it just I get nostalgia just by going on this website. Is Master OTW? That's just weird. Why do you call yourself Master OTW? But has created like Linux basics for hacker and started becoming a master hacker. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if it's a marketing thing, but anytime I hear hacker, master hacker, it just is cheesy to me. But I'm sure he knows his stuff. Sure, he's a solid person, but some of it's just a little bit silly. Like, is this all just free? I love it. I love this old school setup. What's this cost? Become a cyber warrior. What does it cost? I mean, even the design on this book, it looks overwhelming to me. I don't know. What do you guys think about this person? I'm pretty sure they're legit. It's just their website gives me weird vibes. Looking over at chat, see if I'm missing anything. Network Chuck. So Network Chuck's another guy that gets a lot of hate. Maybe deservedly so. I'm not sure, to be honest. Hey, there's me. Like,
virtual machines are amazing. If you want
to, what Network Chuck does, that's always just kind of funny, is like the right now. You need this right now. You need to learn virtual machines right now. You need to learn Kubernetes right now. Like, it's that's also overwhelming, but it's also, I mean, unfortunately, guys, if you want to make a living as a YouTuber, which I don't, and this is why my stuff isn't as clickbaity as the rest, I don't have any interest in making a living as a YouTuber. I like making my living as a pen tester and doing YouTubing for fun and helping people out in that way. But if you want to make a living doing YouTube, unfortunately, you have to feed the algorithm. And Network Chuck is a perfect example of how you feed the algorithm. Now, what people seem to not like about him is they say, like, your classic freaking anonymous mask, is the using ethical hacking as a means to make money. But to give him credit, anytime I watch a video by him about like hacking careers or career advice to be an ethical hacker, he's usually upfront, at least from my experience, that he is not an ethical hacker. He is not an expert in the field. And then he'll interview people like John Hammond. I think that was the one I I think when he was talking to John Hammond, he described himself as a noob and said he was just getting started with it. And so I appreciate that honesty from him. And he even did a really enlightening interview with David Bombal on, like, I think David Bombal called it, yeah, this one, Network Check Hacked YouTube, Learn How Right Now. And he explains his philosophy on why he makes the videos he makes, how he makes them, kind of the clickbaity stuff behind it. And I don't know, guys, it's part of the YouTube algorithm. The other reason I'm not mad at Network Chuck is I talked to John Hammond about him. So John Hammond and Network Chuck are good friends. And so I asked John about Network Chuck and just like some of the flack he gets. And Network Chuck actually invited John to Mr. Beast, right? I'm sure you all know Mr. Beast, right? Like the biggest YouTuber around. And Network Chuck got hired by Mr. Beast to do a networking job for one of the sets. And he invited John Hammond to the Mr. Beast studio to kind of hang out and to help on some of the cybersecurity side of things. So Network Chuck recognized, hey, I don't know the security side of things, but I know I have a friend who does named John Hammond. Let me invite John with me. So Network Chuck and John Hammond got to go hang out at the Mr. Beast office. Now, when I talked to John, they didn't actually get to meet Mr. Beast because it sounds like he was sick when they were at his like warehouse or whatever, but they met over like Zoom calls afterwards doing some things like that. But that's where it's like, I don't think Network Chuck deserves a lot of the hate he gets. Even I always like watching like older videos. You can see I love that. When he first got started he was a network engineer and just wanted to share what he was learning. So we were very similar the way we started our YouTube channels. I did the same thing. Just started YouTube wanting to share what I was learning. The difference is Network Chuck is a lot better at the YouTube algorithm than me and doing all this stuff. And obviously he's massive now and super big. He also started, 9 years ago. I've only been on YouTube now for like two years, if that. A year and a half. My YouTube channel isn't that old, but I don't know. I don't think he's worthy of the hate he often gets. Like, see, he includes some like legit professionals when he's talking about hacking stuff. So I personally don't think he's worthy of the hate he gets. I enjoy some of his content. It's fun stuff just to like listen to. I'm not trying to learn how to do deep hacking from his channel, but I think he's a good dipping point for people who maybe are brand new to the field and need to get a good taste of some general technology stuff. There was a help desk video that I share with a lot of people. This one, guys. This live stream right here is really good. I've shared this live stream with a lot of people who want to get their first job in IT. And this live stream that Network Chuck did is actually super on point for those just trying to break into help desk and get their first job. So I've shared this with quite a few people. Let me know what you guys think. I know Network Chuck is a very controversial figure, and a lot of you probably disagree with me. Curious to hear your thoughts. Danker Wonder said, "You're the man, Tyler. I've been reluctant to participate in any community, but you seem very upfront and honest." Thank you, my friend. I appreciate the kind words. Not really security the same way you and John are, but I enjoy the PC security channel. I don't know if I've seen that. Is this just like general security stuff? Oh, they test security products? Oh, cool. That's cool. I'll have to check this out. Maybe just some fun stuff to watch in the background. Thank you for sharing. Today I saw a nice Eric Parker video as well, and he was in his Discord. A little baby black hat joined and was trying to puff his chest out during it and had his malware live disassembled by everyone. That's amazing. That's cool. Austin LeBlanc said, "I love Chuck's content, but I don't know as much as some of y'all." No, like I said, I personally think Network Chuck is a solid person, probably a very genuine person in real life. He just gets flack because he does the YouTube algorithm thing, and so does John Hammond. And the thing is, if you want to make legit money off YouTube, you have to do the YouTube algorithm thing. It is just a necessary beast. But Network Chuck isn't preying off of people. Like, that's the difference. I see other content creators selling overpriced coaching or courses or whatever. Network Chuck has an academy, but super affordable academy from what I can see, and features some real experts on there. So have no issues with them. Actually, I was trying to get on Network Chuck's channel, because that would be a really cool exposure. When I did Simply CyberCon, so this thing, I spoke at Simply CyberCon. Oh, I have it on my own YouTube channel as well. Yeah, here it is. So I spoke on mental health and pen testing at the first Simply CyberCon, and Network Chuck watched it, and he said in the chat, hey, I need to talk to this guy, like referring to me. And I was like, well, frick, yeah, dude, let's put me on the Network Chuck channel, like give me some of that exposure. Would love to hang out and get to know him. But he commented that during the live stream, this guy's cool. I need to talk to him. I need to chat with him. But I don't know how to get a hold of him. Like, he said that in the chat. I've reached out to him on YouTube. I reached out to him on LinkedIn. I even had Jerry. So Jerry's apparently in like some private elite content creator Discord community that I haven't received a special invite to yet. And Jerry apparently was able to like reach out to Network Chuck and shared my information with him. And Network Chuck still hasn't gotten back to me. So I doubt any of you guys have connections with the Network Chuck. But if you do, tell Network Chuck I would love to be on his channel. And that would be incredible exposure for my YouTube channel if I can ever get to that. But so he kind of knows who I am. He watched this live, so he knows of me. If I could get on his YouTube channel, that would be a lot of fun. So tell Network Chuck, reach out to me. I've tried to reach out to him, and I don't know how else to reach out to him besides like OSIN and showing up at his house like a freaking creep and saying, hey, can we do our YouTube video now? You commented on my live stream. Would really love to be on your YouTube channel. All right. Everything else. Let me keep going. Well, I'll hang around a little bit longer, but yeah, this is totally just became an AMA. We'll have to do the TryHackMe room later. It's been fun though. Best free resources for a beginner from Taylor Calhoun. I would say YouTube channels like the ones I've already showed, and TryHackMe. TryHackMe, even without a subscription, has a lot of free content. Yeah, I agree, Harrison, about Network Chuck. Let me keep going. Vince, I just watched to learn the basics since Ryan's BS left me in limbo. When it comes to this, Hal Ramsey's the guy. Thank you, dude. Realistically, if you're just cranking out videos like CVE blah, you're gonna get 5K views. Yeah, like that's probably why my YouTube channel hasn't blown up, right? Like I have some of the clickbaity stuff, but I don't know how to do, well, I do know how to do the YouTube algorithm thing. I just don't want to do it because it's not fun to me. But like, if you want to be a big YouTuber, you don't make videos that are an hour and 30 minutes long. That's not how you get views. That's not how you get sponsors. You need to make shorter videos, which I have some of those. Like this one, I was surprised this one got so many views in 8 days on the real phishing infrastructure. But my video is a lot more in-depth. I'm explaining things. It's not clickbaity. I do have like my most popular video is how I pass the OSCP. You can see that one has like 81,000 views. I have some AV bypassing stuff, but by and far, I don't do the YouTube algorithm clickbaity thing. I'm not mad at people who do, because once again, if you want to make a living off YouTube, that's what you have to do. But I don't have any interest in making a living off YouTube. I started my YouTube channel just like sharing what I'm learning, right? Like my first thing was a walkthrough video, me just being a noob trying to figure this stuff out. Oh, was it 2 years ago? I look super young there. Maybe it's just the hair. I have no idea. But that's how I started out, and that's still what my channel is today. Just sharing, you know, what I'm learning as I work my way through things. But that's not how you get big on YouTube. I just don't care about getting big on YouTube. That's probably the difference. Let me see what else is going on in chat. I'll switch over to Twitch in just a second in case there's questions on Twitch. Red Blue Team Learnings asked this on YouTube. I'm getting started on bug bounty. Is it like I should put my real name and info, or how is the profile protocol on bug bounty platforms? I think you're required to put your real name and info, especially for payment reasons on bug bounty platforms. Yeah. I apologize over on LinkedIn. I saw a LinkedIn comment come in, but it doesn't tell me when. But someone said, sir, this type of membership is very costly for Indian students. If you know affordable courses, please share. I don't know what type of membership you're talking about, but if you're still watching on LinkedIn, everything I create is free. I don't do memberships. I have like members on YouTube and stuff if you want to support my content, but that doesn't give you special access to anything because I don't believe in paywalls. As far as courses that are affordable, once again, TryHackMe is a great place to start. And Portswigger Academy. Good call, Doc G Money. Doc, that's one I forgot to mention. As far as free resources go, you cannot go wrong with Portswigger and their academy. All of their academy, guys, is completely free. Now, some of the labs you may not be able to do without Burp Suite Pro because of what it requires, although you can do most of them with Python if you figure out how to do it with Python. But their academy is completely free, and it's super high-end material, the way it explains everything when it comes to web app pen testing. Another free resource. Why do I keep forgetting to share my screen? My goodness. I just realized I wasn't sharing. But this is a Web Security Academy through Portswigger. This is what I was talking about. Incredible resource, all free. Make sure you check it out. Like if we go to all topics, I don't think I have to be logged in, but let's like do path traversal. You see, it'll explain all of what path traversal is. And then there's hands-on labs that go through all of it. Right? And if you ever heard of the Web Application Hackers Handbook, if I could type. And this right here, right, this classic text that a lot of people recommend for getting started. Portswigger Academy is created by these people. So they said that like Portswigger Academy is basically the 3rd edition of this book, but it's always being updated, always expanding. The issue they ran into making books about web app pen testing is as soon as you release the book, it's outdated. So that's why Web Security Academy is here. It is the Web Application Hackers Handbook, like 3rd edition, continually updated, completely free with built-in labs. I mean, how incredible is that? Yeah, Bottleneck said Rana Khalil, who we already looked at, explains a bunch of labs with Python for people that don't have Burp Pro. So if you go through her academy, once again, if you missed it before, she would be a great person to start with as you work through those labs. Even her YouTube channel, right? Her YouTube channel has a bunch of the labs. And if you don't have Burp Pro, she explains how to solve them with Python that require that. So definitely check out her content. Let me look through here. Austin said, Portswigger are the guys and gals that actually make Burp Suite, right? Yep, you got it. I didn't know they had labs. Figured it was just articles. Yeah, and their labs are really good. I've streamed some of it. Obviously not as much as Rana here, but I've done some of the Portswigger Academy stuff. I think I have anyways. Yeah, so like I've done server-side vulnerabilities, web LLM attacks, and have talked about them, Portswigger Live. So there's some videos of me working through their content. You'll have to check it out if you're interested. I'll have to do more of their content. Victoria said, noob here, I'm just learning the basics of CS. Do I need to download Kali? No, especially, yeah, not bare metal. Put it in a VM, a virtual machine. And if you go to like... Kali has good docs for installing stuff. So if you go to the Kali docs and go to virtualization, installing VirtualBox on Kali, right? It'll, oh wait, not installing VirtualBox on Kali. I'm thinking of installing Kali on VirtualBox. Running Kali as a virtual machine in Windows. I'm guessing you're using Windows, but this walks you through how to install it in Windows and all that good stuff. Although it feels, this is just showing the stuff here. Anyways, long story short, there's documentation everywhere on how you can install Kali as a virtual machine, and that's what I recommend. As much as I don't like OffSec, they did a good job with Kali, and they still do a good job with Kali. Used to be Backtrack back in the day. And the reason I recommend a VM is because you're destined to break it as you install different tools, different Python dependencies, things like that. Like I broke my Kali VM many times. And so even like for work, I use Ubuntu as my main OS, but like all my pen testing I do instead of a Kali VM, because whenever I break it, I can just revert to a snapshot super easily. You break your host machine on bare metal, it's just a little more difficult to restore it. So I always recommend, even though you can do a lot of the tools on bare metal, especially if you run Linux as your main OS like I do, I have some of the tools there, but by and large, I don't do like any pen testing for my actual host OS because of that chance of breaking crap. Whereas I just like, even on Ubuntu, I have a Kali VM and a Windows VM just for pen testing so that when it breaks, I can easily restore to snapshot. Red Blue Team said, today's TryHackMe room go through over. We never started it. The plan when I jumped on stream was to do the new room on TryHackMe called T-Shark the Basics, and the stream turned into a Q&A. There was too many good questions that I did not want to interrupt. So we are now an hour and 30 minutes in, and it's just been an hour and 30 minutes of Q&A, which is amazing. Really appreciate all the good questions. I'm going to plan on taking this video and uploading it to YouTube as a standalone Q&A video, because you guys asked some solid questions and shared good information yourselves about this. So really appreciate everybody's time. But okay, it is getting late. It's 12:30 at night where I live, and I should probably go to bed. My kids are going to wake me up in 5.5 hours. So, you know, that's the joy of parenting with young kids. But I am going to sign off. I'll probably jump on again tomorrow night, guys. So tomorrow night, instead of doing an hour-and-a-half Q&A, tomorrow night we will go through this machine and eventually complete it. But I'm not going to start it now tonight. If there's any other last-minute questions, happy to answer it. Otherwise, I am going to call it a night. We'll see if there's anyone we can raid as well. I have a feeling most people are probably offline. Ken PDX said, I don't get the obsession with Kali. I know it has a bunch of tools preloaded, but I just use my Mac desktop. And if I need a particular tool, I just brew or pip install it. Yeah, I mean, that's fine as long as you don't break your host OS depending on what you're installing. It's just, even if it's not Kali, it's just nice having it in a VM because it's easy to revert stuff. But yeah, Kali just has the tools installed. It's just convenient, right? I've used Ubuntu. Like I used to have an Ubuntu VM where I just installed the tools myself. So you can do it any way that you want. They're all just tools. Yeah, Austin says on YouTube, Kali's just convenient because you don't have to install tools for 6 hours. Exactly. All right, guys. Well, really do appreciate all of you taking the time, hanging out with me this evening, asking really good questions. Before we sign off, actually, I will sign off for the YouTube. So this will be the end of the standalone video. For those of you watching on YouTube, the plan was to do a room on TryHackMe, but it turned into a Q&A. But that's the joy of live streaming, hanging out with the community, learning from the community, and hopefully you guys learn something from me as well in the process. So for those of you watching on YouTube after the fact, thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. For the rest of you, let's go ahead and see if there's anyone we can raid. And the way we can do that is if we do infosecstreams.com, and I am the only person online here. Well, if you've never heard of infosecstreams.com, make sure you check it out. It really is a cool resource showing people who are streaming, some really good streamers. Maybe we're not going to raid anyone. Let me just see if there's anyone just on Twitch real quick. Whoops. Maybe I'm going to stop sharing my screen just for a moment. I'm going to pull up Twitch. If I can get the right Twitch. All right. Is there anyone in the science and technology field streaming cool stuff? I don't think so. I see a lot of weather stuff. I'm not going to stream some weather channel. All right. I'm the only apparently streamer right now. So we're not going to raid anyone unless anyone has a recommendation. If someone has a recommendation over on Twitch, I'm happy to hear it. But we'll just call it we'll call it a night, guys. Thank you, everyone, for... Oh, Summit 1G, man? Who's Summit 1G? Hold up. Summit 1G. Let me see who this is before I raid them. I'm waiting for the commercial. Oh, he has a bunch of people. He's just is he just a gamer? What's he talking about? He's not an InfoSec streamer. Plus he has like 18,000 freaking viewers. He doesn't need my raid. Yeah, I'm just gonna call it a night, guys. Well, I try to keep the raids limited to InfoSec streaming channels, but appreciate all of you being here. Once again, if you do like my content, I don't do any type of paywalls. You can support me in a few different ways on YouTube. You can become a member, I think at $5 or $10 a month. You don't get any special access, though, because I don't believe in paywalls. Over on Twitch, you can become a subscriber. On YouTube, you can do super chats, one-time donations. So if you do support the content, that's always encouraging to see those, but never any pressure, only if you're financially able to do so. But guys, thank you for hanging out. No guarantees. I'll probably be back on tomorrow night, but like many of you, I have family, I have young kids, so I can never totally determine what my schedule is going to be. So I may or may not be on tomorrow night to go through the TryHackMe machine, but if I'm not, y'all have a good weekend. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.